what is good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about Euphoria by Kendrick. Unfortunately, this isn't a live reaction. I would have loved to have done it, but, with the time differences here, it came out, I don't know, in the middle of the night, and I woke up. Obviously, I got other stuff to do too, so, but as soon as I seen it, I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to avoid this. Any conversation or any way of hearing it, so I had to just hear it, but man, we got a response. We got a response from Kendrick now to Drake. After obviously Drake dropping push-ups, Drake dropping Tailor Made. Obviously, a lot's happened with that as well, as you guys all know. But now we are here, and we are here at Euphoria. And man, I think what Kendrick did for 6 minutes and 24 seconds, I think he did everything he needed to do. I think there's a lot of angles there that is just it's clear that it can be delved into deeper from here, and I definitely think he played a perfect position of playing offense and defense on the same track. Whereas, a lot of people say with obviously push-ups and tailor-made, push-ups was kind of made obviously on the offense, really going at Kendrick, and really going at everyone and not really saying much. Whereas on tailor-made, Drake's really playing defense, already trying to kind of water down any angles that Kendrick might approach with this. But I think Kendrick did a really good job at responding, at rebuttaling a lot of angles as well, and also just playing offense and defense at the same time on this. And my impressions of it from hearing it is basically just Kendrick just saying we can take it wherever you want to take it from here. I'm not calling it a warning shot. I don't think we're past warning shots. Nothing is a warning shot now. This is very specific. This is very direct. They're both very direct to one another, but they are trying to still bait each other out to see what information each other has, also what angles that they're trying to take with that information, and where this will take a turn. So obviously, there's three different parts in this. Obviously, the first part, I feel like obviously is a lot more about the defense, obviously talking in regards to Drake's line, I be with the bodyguards like Whitney, and what that insinuates. And, Kendrick basically saying, you're a master manipulator, habitual liar, definitely going at, racial, definitely taking the racial route as well as others have. And that's a lot of flack that some people are giving Kendrick, is recycled angles. But to me, I find obviously that the angles are, they're true. They're said for a reason, because there's truth there. And to me, I think, he, with some of the angles and some of the schemes, he's elevated it. He's made it better. I think that, how he has flipped some of these angles and reworked them, I think is just obviously, to me, elevates the angles. And the biggest thing I can see from all this with the Kendrick Drake beef is a lot of people are very certain on their sides and who they're picking. But for me personally, like I said from the start, these two guys are in my top 5 all time. And I honestly think this is the moment that everyone has been waiting for. And both sides have been wanting this to happen for a long time, whether that be the fan base, whether that be internally, whether that be Drake and Kendrick specifically. I think that this has been long awaited. And I think in that sense, you can't give away too much straight away. Like you can't swing and aim to end it all. Like you can't aim for the head right now. you can say that it's possible on either side. You can say that I'm coming for it, but like I said, nothing here yet is lethal, and we all know that. Like, I think Kendrick is winning, but I don't think that Drake is out of it at all. Like, I know Drake can respond, and he is capable to one up this. I know it's possible that he could basically have something that's more profound than this. And that's what I mean. It's a case by case, it's a song by song basis. I just think a lot of the fan bases are very much set on their guy, which is fine. You know, I don't think there's much of a crossover. I think I'm in a very rare percentage of people that regards these two equally, like, high. Like, you know, I regard Kendrick Lamar and Drake equally. Like, my top five, there's no order of that top five. I just view them all as people that have contributed so much and are so talented and have amazing catalogs and are amazing at multiple, you know, they're multifaceted artists that are capable of doing great verses, doing great feature verses, doing great songs, doing great albums, doing, you know, doing things that other artists and other rappers can't do. So I think from here, you know, we're really going to see, this is the point where we realize, you know, with beef, and especially with the last one with Drake and Pusha, unfortunately, it's kind of who has the bombshell scandal that can be proven, and that's the only way that can be the ultimate decider. But I just don't think, if this just stays where it's at, I think people would just stay on the same sides that they're on. I don't think it sways that many people. I think Drake fans will always be Drake fans and side with Drake. Um, and that's clear because he is 1-1 in this field. He has proven that he beat Meek Mill, and he has proven that he lost to Pusha T. And that's something that's understood. That's something that he has said himself. And I don't think these things affect the artist as much, but at the same time, you have to be mindful of who's standing on the other side of you right now. You know, you got Drake, and he knows that he's going up against Kendrick, and that's Kendrick knowing he's going up against Drake. That, like, there is a respect there, and there's a knowing of what each other is capable of. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so patient and also holding their cards so closely. Like, I think they're alluding to a lot to one another. They're basically saying, we can take it there if you want to take it there, but they're just trying to check, you know, the temperature. Like, how far are you willing to push these lines? And these guys as well, they're not afraid to cross the line. They're not that so, but they have a lot on the line. They both have a lot on the line. There's a lot on the line for this. So, I mean, my interpretation of all this is, you know, I feel like that masterful performance. If I can use a sport analogy, Kendrick basically came out swinging, winning the fight, won the fight. At the end of the fight, he calls out Drake, basically, you know. Then we have Drake come with a response, obviously, on he came with a response on push-ups. You know, he had to address a lot of people. So I don't take that as a part of this at all. I take that as separate. Again, I take that as a response to like that. And I just take that like, well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see about it now, you know. And then Tailor Made isn't for me. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really like the AI approach. Like, I get it. A lot of people saying it was to troll. It was to try and bring Kendrick out to respond. It was to play defense and kind of nip the narratives and angles that Kendrick might attack. But to me, it just wasn't for me. Like, I listened to it once. I don't think I ever revisited it. It just didn't connect with me at all, which is fine. I pushed that one to the side too. I just basically look at that as another way of Drake trolling online, like he would on social media. And he's done it with Meek before, and the song only made it to Instagram, other, maybe other social media, but I only seen it on Instagram, and obviously it's taken down now. So I just see that as him trolling online. And then I take this now as this is round one. And right now, Kendrick's came out early in round one, and he looks to be very much aware of who he's standing in the ring with, and he's betting on himself, like, quite clearly, and he's saying this fight can turn wherever it wants to take. It can be as respectful or as disrespectful. He has no problems with it whatsoever. And I think Drake is gonna come in, and it's still round one, and we're gonna see who gets the better of the end of round one, because to me this is the first complete direct exchange to Drake, and I personally disregard Taylor Made. I think it was just a way for Drake to poke at Kendrick, to be like, all right, come on, let's see what you're sitting on then. Because everyone's alluding to that these guys have been sitting on diss tracks. And by now, I'm assuming that stuck here in a spot like this, just basically getting out as many angles, as many ideas as possible, just trying to figure out how they're going to approach the next one and what could be said when Drake responds. So I think Drake needs to respond. It needs to be direct. It can't be at multiple people. It has to be only at Kendrick. You just let all the stuff go by the wayside for Rick Ross. Obviously, he has a track. Let that go by the wayside for right now. Let Kanye, let Future, let Rick Ross, let Weeknd, push that all to the wayside, because you know that you have to give your full attention to this. And you've done what you need to do with push-ups. I don't think anyone on there that other on mentioned in push-ups can really respond to what you have said already. I don't think Drake should respond to anyone else. The only thing he needs to respond to is Euphoria, and taking it from there, and let everything else go by the wayside, because you're not going to win. There's no point in trying to win every battle when it doesn't benefit you. Like, winning the battles with Rick Ross or Future or Weeknd or Kanye, it doesn't do anything for him. But this is the one that needs to be attacked and needs to be thoughtful, to the point of blank out everything and just focus on this. And I think people are doubting both sides. I think people doubt both sides. It's so funny to see. I find that people just really, really are set on their side. I think there's not many of a crossover fan base between Drake and Kendrick. I think people that love Drake, think he's the greatest of all time. No one can ever compete. No one can ever touch him. I think people that like Kendrick think he's the same way, the greatest of all time. No one can touch him. I think there's a big percentage of people that just want to see Drake's downfall, and I think that will have them side with Kendrick. And I think there's a lot of people in the industry that are picking sides due to their own benefits. Obviously, maybe they'd rather side with Drake because it might be more beneficial for their careers. It might be better to do that to obviously save all your everything that you can accumulate monetarily. I got no idea, but I just don't know. Like, I think people are really set in their ways. I think not much can change unless there's a bombshell, unless it's like Drake's hiding a second child, or Kendrick has a child that he doesn't know, like on that type of wildness, like where it's evidence that is not, it can't, it can be proven. It's not a speculation. It's like, that's why Pusha beat Drake, was because what Pusha said, saying, "You are hiding a child, let that boy come home." Like, he had a child. Like, he attacked everything due to information that wasn't made public, that wasn't well-known knowledge, and got brought to the light. And that was the first time we ever heard it for majority of people, especially casuals. And I don't think people understand how much how much casuals have to do with who wins this beef as well. This is not going to be about who's the best rapper. If you believe Drake is a better rapper than Kendrick, that's fine. But this beef, this rap battle isn't going to prove it. If you think Kendrick is a better rapper than Drake, this beef, this battle is not going to prove it. Like, it's just not. It's like these diss tracks are done in a way like people say it's like a hit 'em up. It has to be disrespectful, but it's even to the level now where it has to be a back to back. It has to be catchy enough that it plays everywhere. Sports teams will use it for a video for whatever's going on for their team, their team highlights. The clubs will play it. People will say it. People will say it to disrespect someone they don't like. That's not even referenced. Just like how, Kendrick says, I hate the way you walk, I hate the way you talk. Like, people are gonna use that just in reference to someone they don't like. These are the things that are needed in a diss track now. It needs to be disrespectful, and it needs to be catchy, and you need to not be able to get away from it. Like, Kendrick and Drake are making these songs with the intent of, like, you might have heard it, and I know you heard it, but you're going to be hearing it around a lot because people are going to play this, because it's that catchy that people are going to play this. So that's what comes with it. That's what comes with it. So I just want people to know that your favorite and who you believe is the best rapper can lose in this, because it's not being about the best rapper. This is not going to be about bars. And I mean, even Kendrick has said it. This is what Kendrick says in this track. And it's clear. This is clear. I don't think it has ever been about this. All right. He says, this ain't been about critics, not about gimmicks, not about who the greatest. It's always been about love and hate. Now, let me say I'm the biggest hater. Okay. So this whole narrative of we're going to find out who is better based off this battle is just not true. It's not going to happen, and I still want to get to this video eventually, but Cole taking himself out of the beef doesn't make him any worse of a rapper. It really doesn't. But let's just stay on this. I think right now it's clear this is going to stay a very disrespectful. I don't see a way where Drake doesn't hear this, read this, and doesn't cross a line and get more petty. Like, I think this only amplifies from here. I don't know. We never knew about what was going to come out of the Pusha T. We did not expect to hear what we heard. I don't know what information is out there for either or one of these guys, but we'll see how crazy it gets from here. But right now, I got Kendrick up. Euphoria is crazy. To me, my favorite song out of all of this, to be completely honest, my favorite song out of all of this is Still Like That. Like, I think that's my favorite song out of this all. And then after that, I have to say I like Euphoria and Push-Ups. I think those are the three songs. Tailor-Made, I just wouldn't play it again. I wouldn't really even revisit it. But we're going to see what Drake does next. He's already said he's cooking up something. I wanted to get this out ASAP. This isn't really going to be edited too much. I'm literally just running off the top of my head. I just wanted to get something out because a lot of people are saying Drake's going to drop literally tomorrow, literally on Friday. So I wanted to get to it. I don't know if it's a good idea if he drops that soon. I think he could wait a little bit longer, not saying weeks, but literally like next week. I think he could just let the momentum of this die down. Because it's still gaining momentum, and right now I feel like it's still a big talking point. Um, but we'll see. Drake's gonna do what he think it who what he thinks is best, and he's been in this arena multiple times. So we'll see. But I do think these responses are gonna be like quicker. They're gonna come around quicker and quicker and quicker right now. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think is up right now? Um, you know, Everyone has a different opinion. Let me know what you think. Who do you think is up right now? Did you already pick a side before this even happens? Are you just riding to the end with one side or the other side? Let me know what your favorite bars are and what you think might happen next. But until then, make sure you like, comment, do all the good stuff that I always tell you to do, subscribe, all that. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.